Greta is not happy this morning because I shaved some of her hair on the top with my air filter touching the valve cover, and yeah, she's not happy at all. Hope you appreciate my awesome shaped plate. Doesn't matter. What matters is today this front end actually comes off, and hopefully this is the last time that the front end comes off, the lights and everything, because as you know I have this turbo on and I made a quid adapter to fit this on my exhaust wipers to see if it works. Obviously you've seen it going up and down in the front of the workshop and it works amazing, but this last week I took it to work, I took it to took it to home. I've done motorway run, I've done country lanes, pretty steep hill climbs, you know, at pretty good speed. I took the car to fairly good speed, maybe even too much, and it just works incredible. Honestly, this is all mechanical setup, and I have to say I'm over the moon. It works much better now than I thought. On the motorway, you driving at 60, 65, you already have half bar of boost, so always positive boost. So that helps to cool down the exhaust gases, so EGT goes down, and it runs very safely, and there's no smoke nearly whatsoever, and responsive on the low RPMs is very close to a 57N, which is common rail, and you got electronics to control all that response and everything. Here we got everything is mechanical, even the variable value turbo is controlled completely mechanical. There's no electronics involved whatsoever. Once you start the car, so obviously the globe looks, the starter motor, you can throw the battery away, it will run the whole setup, apart the gearbox. Obviously that was my little compromise to make the missus happy. However, I like that gearbox as well, I don't want to lie. So yeah, 100%, the results are way better than I was expecting. So again, it's very responsive, it's very powerful, massive power range, lots of torque. I mean, this thing, I was thinking to achieve maybe 300, 350 brakes and have at least some sort of close to be the same torque as a 57N. I end up having way more power and way more torque, and same responsive nearly on the low RPMs. After is way more responsive. I mean, honestly, the turbo jumps from half bar of boost to 1.72 bar is like immediate, within 100 RPMs probably. So I'm very happy with this. So yes, today take it off and refinish everything, build a new Y piece for the new turbo position in a safer mode, safer place, as I wanted exactly. The problem is my turbo still haven't arrived. Hopefully it's gonna be hit tomorrow, and if not, we have to wait till Saturday. If Saturday didn't arrive, then I have to use still this turbo here, which is borrowed, just to take the van home and then bring it back, and then we have to swap it once my turbo arrives. So, but let's hope everything is gonna be right, my turbo arrives, and then oh, another thing, yeah, finally put the rope on the winch. I just have to take this bumper off, the plastic cover, and I have to shave a little bit of the steel bumper because it's too close to the rope, and you know, when you use it sometimes, you know, when you wind it up, you may have more rope one side than another and may catch on the steel bumper and damage the rope. We don't want that. So that's the jobs for today. Let's do it. No front end, this is how it looks like. No fenders, because I think I'm gonna change them to the old ones, because these square ones, they cover the wheel a little bit more, but they look just rubbish, you know. It looks like a proper bulge together. Old ones, yes, they're still bulged, but I think they look better, so I'm gonna put the new old ones on probably. This is what I was painting with the winch. You see I've cut over here and it's too close to the rope. Actually this side is touching, so this is not acceptable. And I think instead of chopping this off and then reinforce it, I may just fold this in, so in that way the rope, even if it touches this, it will slide on. There will be no edges to cut it through. Same for the bottom, not as much as this, but this has to be fixed as soon as possible. And turbo is coming off. Instead of taking it off from this bloody adapter, which you see is very tight, I may just get it off from there, from my exhaust manifolds, maybe. So maybe I can take the whole lot off and then do it on the table, which will be much easier and faster and simpler. So let's do it. There you go, she's out, and this is how it looks like. So let me grab the light. You've seen this before, but let me just refresh the memory. So this is what I've done, you see. So you got 1, 2 and 3 cylinder. It's one flange. 4, 5 and 6. He's got his own flange. Obviously it's all black because it was smoking inside here. The exhaust pipe was actually finishing about here, and it was facing the exhaust manifold as well. Other than my water pipe, which I burned a little bit. I don't know if you can see it from there. Probably not, but yeah, a bit smoked, barbecued. So, and this is how the Y piece looks like. You know, you got one screw and the other screw, and it works very decent. Obviously, the wastegate port, that's the wastegate, it's not needed anymore, because this one I used that with my GD35 and then GD30 eventually, but with this turbo obviously the wastegate is not needed, so we're gonna block it because this Y piece goes to that one there. I'm gonna make a new one for myself because I need a turbo in a different position, like I said. I just want you to notice how beautiful the 316 stainless is when it gets some warm. And this is how it gets. This will never go rusted like 304. 304 stainless, it gets a superficial rust. 316 never goes rusted on the top. It gets this red, goldish and purple color all around. It's probably smoked black on this side. Oh, and actually not. You see? This is how it looks like. And you can see clearly see the welds. And it will be like this forever. This is my adapter from T3 to this square flange here. Very bolted together quickly, just to test the turbo because we didn't know if the turbo will work or not. But it works beautifully. So I don't know, I may be tempted to actually leave my exhaust with this Y piece, just maybe chop this flange here, and from there go straight into this square with that different angle. Maybe, I don't know, because in that case the turbo will be roughly at the same depth, it's just lower, and if that keeps it away good enough from this, then maybe. You see, this is like you plan something and then maybe go a different direction, maybe something different will be even better. So I don't know, worth checking. Let's see. Let's check it. Let's take all of this apart, because you see all this. When I welded these two flanges together, you know, there's like a small pipe there, 2 inch. I had to do it with the bolts already inserted in. If not, there will be no chance me putting the bolts on afterwards. So yeah, as a proper bolting, you know, the proper bolt that actually works. I love doing this shit, you know. You saw me before, like years ago, when I used to do all this turbo system. Everything has to be refined and perfect and nice and precise. Now when I'm playing with my stuff, okay, it doesn't look as good. It's, you know, surely you cannot do a job like this on a customer's car, but I actually enjoy it, you know. Fuck it, just make it work. I love it. Alright, so the Y piece is off. Let me just explain you better how it works. Usually you have only one flange on a stand. Actually, I may have one. There you go. This is, okay, alright, fuck it, this is 605. It doesn't matter. It is good for explaining anyway. So this is a 605 exhaust manifold. It's actually better than 606. Blah blah blah. However, what you can see here, you can just add another cylinder. So you got 3 cylinders going into facing this way and 3 cylinders facing that way, and you got these hot gases meeting each other at pretty much straight one into another, and that's not great. Now when you cut this off from here, you see you got 1 and 2. These are actually like not facing towards each other but in one direction. This one is at the angle but not facing this, and going out this, obviously, this flange here. If you remove this section here, there will be no gases going towards and meet this one straight into each other. So that's good. And obviously when you got this three separated and this three separated, that's the better, that's the real benefit. Plus obviously instead of having one this size, only this size, obviously from 6 cylinders as a flange, you know, as the exit from the gases, you got 2 of them, so you got half the restriction. Plus the flow is much better because, as I explained, these gases from one screw don't face straight into the gases from the first screw. So you got 2 benefits here, and this is how the Y-piece looks like, you know, just 1 and 2 flanges, and then nice merge collector, which again facing the same direction and going out. Obviously now I just have to, yeah, there you go, bodged, but does the job. That's from behind. I really like this color here. It looks like it's still glowing, isn't it? But it's not, obviously. Now we have to chop this flange here and try to fit straight on this flange. I'm probably gonna leave maybe that section there, just mix that together, the sensor for the exhaust gas. I couldn't be bothered. However, I'm gonna chop this flange here, which was just to adapt this to the T3, this one here, and see how this will fit on this, and obviously inside the engine bay. If it stays in a decent place, then I'm probably gonna leave it and build a new one for the patrol. If not, this one goes to the patrol, and I'm gonna build a new one for myself. Well, this is pretty much new. You don't fuck always done maybe 100 miles, 150 miles, so it just looks used because been used for a little bit, but it's pretty much new. So yeah, let's go forward.